Most people think buying a franchise takes 6 months to a year. Done the slow way, that's right. Done the right way, with the right person in your corner, either path can take a fraction of that. I work with over 800 brands across the United States and Canada, and I've watched buyers sign in weeks while others spend a year shopping listings that go nowhere. So in the next few minutes, I'm breaking down both paths to ownership: the franchise resale path, where you can buy somebody's existing franchise, and the new franchise path, where you could start one from scratch in your own territory. I'll show you exactly what makes each one fast or slow. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the franchise resale path. Most people don't realize this is even an option. A franchise resale is when somebody who owns a franchise already is willing to sell it, and you step in and take it over. You're not building anything from scratch. You're buying a business that already has customers, employees, equipment, and real financial numbers you can look at. When the right one shows up, it could be the fastest way into ownership in the entire industry. The trick is knowing how to move on it the second it appears and knowing when to walk away. Now let's talk about what it means to buy an existing franchise location. Buying an existing franchise location means you already have customers, you already have your staff, you have revenue, you have systems, and you have franchise support already in place. And why people choose that is because there's no build out phase, there's no startup guesswork, revenue may exist on day one, and there's lower uncertainty versus starting new. Lower perceived uncertainty, that is, of course. Now, what does a realistic timeline actually look like once a buyer finds one? So typically with a resale, 90 days, even as low as 30 days is typical, but it could be even earlier than that if the buyer is ready. When a resale makes sense, you need to have a few critical factors lined up. Of course, number one is your budget, and this includes your working capital, not just the purchase price. Don't stretch this into some dream deal that you can't sustain over time, because even if you are purchasing a resale, you are still going to have similar headaches with growing pains, and there could be some things that you haven't thought about, so you need to have that buffer zone. So include your working capital, include some capital for cost of living as well. Don't invest everything you own into this. Keep some working capital for yourself. Geography fit. Location versus relocation really matters. You're buying into a business that could be very far away. Are you prepared to go to that business every single day and to operate it? Or if you're purchasing it nearby in an area that you know and understand, that could be much more beneficial in the long run for you. And market growth matters. Understand the population trends, understand the competition, understand the demand curve. If this is a market that you know and understand, you should be able to get an idea of that right away. But if this is in a new market and you need to relocate it to it, then do some research. Understand the statistics and what the population looks like, and make sure there's going to be a demand for your product or service. Now let's talk about lifestyle fit. Are you looking to acquire a business where you're the owner operator and are doing all the work versus a semi-absentee model where there's going to be workers performing the bulk of the work for you? Or are you looking for an executive owner type of deal? That's very important because this is a long life decision that you're going to be making. And ask yourself honestly, can I work 60-hour weeks if needed? Think about your family, think about your kids, think about all the factors in place there. Or do I want systems and I want managers to help support the business? Now let's talk about seller motivation. This is a critical piece, okay? Understand why this franchise is being sold. If it's a profitable one, realistically, there's a reason why it should be kept versus being sold, right? Or maybe they should just be handing it off to their family or whatever it is. So understand why. Let's talk about some of the green flags. Retirement. The owner is old and they want to spin off the business and just move on and live the retired life. Relocation. Maybe they're moving to a different part of the country, or maybe they're going through a life change. That could be anything. So those I would consider to be green flags. Now, a yellow flag is when the seller is saying they're just looking for a change. That can mean a lot of things. So dig deeper. Also, if it's a fast exit after a short ownership, that can mean a few things too. Maybe it just wasn't the right fit for them, and that's okay. But there could be other scenarios at play as well. Now let's talk about the red flags. Declining performance and then no explanation behind that declining performance. So if demand for this product or service is on a decline and the revenue and the profitability is showing, that's definitely a red flag. It's something you really need to understand. Staff instability. Staffing could be a huge headache, and if the staff is constantly turning over, you really need to understand why. Franchisor tension. Maybe there's tension between the existing owner of the business and the corporate brand. Understand why. Maybe they just don't gel, and that's okay. Or maybe the existing owner is just unwilling to follow the process, the proven systems that work, and that's why you're supposed to buy a franchise in the first place. That you can fix. But there's some other reasons why there could be franchise retention. Understand why before you purchase. Multiple ownership transfers. Now, if you're seeing that this business has been sold from owner to owner to owner to owner, that is a very, very big red flag. Why is this happening? A good franchise should have owners that stick around for a long period of time. The big truth here, you're not just buying a business, you're buying the reason for its sale. It's critical you understand that. Now, let's talk about speed plays. Speed play number 1, get the attorney before you sign the NDA. In fact, get the attorney as soon as possible. Pre-retain your franchise attorney. Tell them what you're doing. Keep them on deck for when you do find that resale, you can send it over to them and you can talk about the business and you don't have to wait. If you had an attorney on retainer and ready to go, they can review that right away. You don't have to worry about that 10 to 20 day legal delay during that process. They will be able to identify risks more quickly so you can talk to the brand or talk to the existing owner and understand how to mitigate those risks if they are in fact the risks. And then of course, you stay competitive. If this is a hot deal, there's chances are that there are other buyers looking into this deal. You can be ahead of the game and ahead of all of them by keeping an attorney on standby and ready to roll when you need them to. Speed play number 2, run things at the same time. Now, instead of linear steps, you can do things at the same time. Financing, your legal review, which we just discussed, franchisor calls, do them all at the same time. You do not have to do them in concurrence. And similar to your attorney, if you have your financing lined up, you understand your purchasing power, you understand everything, and you're pre-approved for a certain loan, then you don't have to wait for that process either. If you do them all at the same time, you can save 4 weeks, you can save 8 weeks, you can save even more. And it keeps the momentum alive, prevents the bottlenecks in the process, and it also tells the owner and the franchise brand that you're serious about purchasing. Speed play number 3, call the franchisor on day 1. So most buyers wait. They wait till the very end or they wait till later in the process to call the franchisor, and that's a big mistake. If you call the franchisor on day 1 and clarify why the seller is exiting, confirm the system health, it shows seriousness as a buyer and it makes them know that you are serious about looking into this. And in fact, they want you to call them. They want to have this conversation. They want to tell you about why this particular business is for sale, and they want to help you understand everything you need to know before you make that purchase. So call them on day 1. During this time, ask the franchisor direct questions. Talk about the seller motivation. Is this normal turnover? Is this performance related? Is this forced or a voluntary sale? Remember the flags I talked about. Here's why buyers struggle in the resale market. First, there is an inventory problem. The good resales are scarce, and the good ones, they have a lot of people looking for them. So that's why it's important to be ready, because it's not just you, it's other people looking for businesses, it's private equity firms, it's also other franchisees in the same brand that are looking to gobble up more territories. So you have to be quick, you have to be organized, and you have to be ready to go. And even then, there's no guarantee that you may get it. Also, prospective business owners, they make the mistake of waiting for the perfect deal. They pass on good opportunities waiting for perfect. This makes them go into the cycle where they're re-entering the search repeatedly for months at a time. You're never going to find that perfect deal. If a business, a franchise resale is on the market, there's a reason why. And it's just a matter, can I mitigate these risks? Can I turn this around? Or can I fix this short term so we have better long-term profitability? Now, here's the key takeaways. Winners don't find the perfect deals. They move fast on the viable and strong ones. The key isn't rushing through a transaction. It's being reactive and prepared when the right opportunity does come up. Resale can be fast, but only when the right one lands in front of you and you actually want to move on it. It's only one of 2 paths, and before I walk you through the other one, I want to pause for a quick second. If either of these paths is on your radar right now, whether you've been scrolling resale listings or you haven't started looking yet, that's exactly what this call is for. Book a free 30-minute call using the link in the description, and I'll help you figure out which path fits your situation. It costs you $0 because the franchise companies pay my fee, so I only make money when you find the perfect franchise. Now, let me walk you through the new franchise path with the same level of detail. When people hear about franchising, they think about starting a new franchise. And as I mentioned earlier, there's resales available, which you can definitely get into. But what you're doing when you start a new franchise is you're claiming a brand new territory and building that location from the ground up. The moves on this path are different from the resale moves, but the principle is the same. Fast doesn't mean rushed. It means handling several steps at the same time instead of one at a time. When people hear the term move fast, they assume that it means taking shortcuts or skipping your due diligence. It does not. You should never skip reviewing your financial requirements, your franchisee validation calls, your legal review, your financing discussions, or discovery day. What you should skip is spending 3 weeks deciding whether to make that phone call. Again, the goal is not to reduce diligence. The goal is to eliminate idle time between these diligent steps. Now, when it comes to financing, most buyers start backwards. They pick their brand first, and then they figure out the money part later. And that's how deals can die halfway through. A franchise specialist brokers matter because regular banks, they may not understand the franchise structures. They may move a lot more slowly, and they may treat it like a general small business loan. Now, franchise brokers, on the other hand, they know the SBA, they know franchise lending programs, they know which brands lenders like, and they can structure deals for you before you commit. And the best brokers, you may not find them on Google. They don't need ads. They work on referrals inside their franchise networks. They're already embedded with lenders and franchises. I can refer you to a few of them, and they're great people to work with. The bottom line is, when you first get your funding sorted out, you know your real buying power before you fall in love with a brand, and that can save you weeks. Why should buyers pull their credit report this week and know the real number, not the one they think they have? Most buyers are actually wrong about their credit. It's either outdated or it's just estimated, and the real impact could be huge. Now, if you have a credit score of roughly, let's say 680, that can open up basic franchise funding options for you. 700 plus means you get stronger approval rates and you'll get better terms. 720 plus means you have optimum financing flexibility. And why this matters is because your credit score quietly determines which franchises you can afford, and your loan structure, and your speed to close. Don't let a lender surprise you with that number. Know it first, know it up front, know what you're getting into, know your purchasing power. Now, here is a huge hidden deal killer when it comes to franchising or business ownership in general. It's people who don't speak to their partner or their spouse. Here's what happens if you wait to have that conversation. Your discovery day gets booked, your excitement spikes, then you reveal it to your spouse or partner, and then everything freezes. So you need to have that alignment early. They may have the veto power. This is a family decision. They'll influence financial risk tolerance. Their credit history matters as well. And they'll spot blind spots that you miss. They might be the practical person in the room. The best practice, bring them into the process from day 1, not day 30. Most people overanalyze. Instead, what we do is we filter fast. We look at your investment range, your income goals, your preference in terms of work style. Do you prefer owner or semi-absentee or executive model? What's your sales comfort level like? What's your management experience? What's your lifestyle goals? And where do you want to operate your business out of? And the real outcome is we will take those 800 brands that we work with and we'll narrow it down to about 3 to 5 strong fits. Usually this can happen within 24 to 48 hours, or maybe even earlier. And at this time, we would have already done territory checks to confirm that these are available in your market as well. So the thing is, you don't need more options, you just need better filtering. And that's why we're here to help. Franchise companies pay your fee, but why does that incentive actually align you with the buyer instead of against them? The short answer is yes, I am working for you even though the brand is paying my fee. And there's a big misconception. Well, you get paid by the franchisors, so you work for them. And the reality is, if it's a poor match, everyone loses. The buyer is unhappy, the brand has a poor franchisee, and my reputation is ruined. And that's the last thing that I want. My success actually depends on long-term owner success, not short-term placements. And the simple truth is, if you fail, I don't win long-term. Now let's talk about validation calls. This is when you're talking to the brand, and this is when you're talking to other franchisees. Some people, they stretch their validation over 4 to 6 weeks, and that's a big mistake. The better approach, have 5 to 7 franchisee calls in 1 week. Keep each call to about 20 to 45 minutes and keep your total time from about 3 to 5 hours. This works better because now you get fresh comparisons between owners. You get faster pattern recognition, so you can see what are the common trends and the themes between the owners. And there's no momentum loss between the calls. And the result is you compress a month of validation into a single focused week. There's 2 types of buyers. There's the fast decision makers. They're the ones that book the flights immediately. They treat it as a priority and they signal seriousness and commitment. Then there's the slow decision makers. They're the one that hesitate. They may overthink the logistics and they may lose momentum in the process. Why this actually matters is because you're not just attending a discovery day, but you're showing that you're ready to move. The key truth here is the fastest buyers don't rush decisions, they eliminate the hesitation. Now, to just tie this all together, if you want to launch a new franchise fast, have your funding first. That will provide you with clarity. Understand your credit. That will give you leverage. Keep your spouse aligned. That will bring you speed. Use your franchise consultant to help you match the right franchise. That will give you your focus. Go through the validation calls all in 1 week. Perform the discovery day with confidence so you're ready to execute on the spot. And you've done your research, you've done your due diligence. And again, speed in franchising, it's not about rushing, it's about removing dead time between decisions. To close, the buyers who successfully enter franchise ownership and are looking to purchase fast aren't the most aggressive, they're the most organized. They understand that franchising already provides many of the advantages entrepreneurs are looking for. Proven systems, robust trainings, established operating procedures, brand recognition, and a business-in-a-box framework designed to reduce risk and improve execution. Success comes from doing business the right way while eliminating unnecessary delays. The goal isn't about moving faster than the process. The goal is to move with the process. Now let's talk about the process and let's get you on your journey. Whether you've been shopping resale listings for months or you're just starting to think about going new, the thing that actually speeds up the timeline is having a real conversation. Book a free 30-minute call using the link in the description. My services are completely complimentary as I am compensated by the franchisor, which means I work for you, not for them. I'll see you in the call.